Hello and welcome back to another episode of Tesla, Me and My Model 3, where I discover all the good, the bad and the ugly. Oh, and if you like this video, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification button so you're alerted when I upload another video. You are welcome to use my referral code, which you can find below in the description. By using my referral code, it means that both of us get 1,000 miles of free supercharging on our cars and also the chance to win a Founders Edition of a Model Y or a Roadster. Now, in one of the comments, there was actually a guy called Ben who's local to me, and he said, if possible, for a bottle of wine I think it was, could he go out for a test drive with me? And so I've said yes, which I'm hoping is a good thing. It might not be, just because he could be a mass murderer. I don't think he is. He sounds really cool, and so I'm going to go off now and meet him, and hopefully he's a nice person. So actually, I'll just introduce you again because that wasn't recorded. This is Ben, and I've just picked Ben up, and we're going to go for a little drive. Ben commented on one of my videos very kindly, and you're planning on getting a performance one as well, aren't you? I think. I
am indeed. I do like the exact colour that you have, and obviously the interior as well. This is exactly what I was going to order. So.
Have you got children?
Perfect. I have a daughter, yes.
Right, because I've got a son. How old's your daughter?
4.5.
Mine's 6, and everyone's like, "You're crazy." Just left or right? What's the best way for going
let's
for
go
a test
left.
drive? Left. Yeah. So.
Why crazy?
Because of the dirt and all the crayons and stuff where they start drawing.
Yeah, but it's leather. Surely that'll just.
Yeah, and it's not even real leather, is it? It's synthetic.
Yeah.
So, and my argument for that is you can see the dirt, whereas with the mud like on black and you can get into the crease, you wouldn't see it as well as with the white. So I went camping last weekend, and actually it's surprising what you can get in there. I was going to do a video on it as well, to how much you can fit in the car. Right. But it's surprising what you can get in the car. It's crazy amounts. But the kids will jump, because I was with my sister and all of her kids, and they were jumping around and all the mud on the seats, and I was like, oh no. But I've now got in here, I've got some baby wipes. Right. So it's just like...
And it just comes off, does it?
It just comes off, yeah. I mean, it was just... And you could see exactly where it was. So I think... I like you, I really liked the white. So even though I was thinking, yeah, maybe it'll be a problem, I still like... I've got to get the white.
Yeah.
Just, and with the dark grey...
Oh, it just looks really good. So have you got the autonomous...
No, I was going to go... I had it.
It's about £5,500, isn't it?
Well, it was 4,800, which is why I thought I'll go for it. And then I just kept thinking about it, and I was thinking, like, I was reading up on stuff and people saying there's not many benefits to it at the moment, other than the biggest benefit I think is turning into different lanes without having to switch off the autonomy or the what's it called, the keeping the distance between the cars. Yeah. You have to normally switch that off, or you automatically switch off when you go into another lane and turn it back on. Whereas with that it's all automatic. So
how are you finding the display? Because I've sort of watched a couple of videos and people have been talking about the display obviously being flat rather than actually being slightly tilted towards the driver. Might help.
And as in what, with reflections or things like that?
Well, no, just because it is flat, and then if it was tilted towards you, then you would be able to just maybe see it a little bit easier. It's massive.
I don't think I've ever had that problem. This guy's completely unaware the car's there because it's completely silent.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was going to I won't wait till the street because I'll hear you coming, and then
actually, I'll just park up here. I'm just going to put that one on the dashboard. I've got no dash cam thing. Oh, because you've got the dash cam on that. I've tried it, and it's
where's the dash cam?
It's built in. I think it's facing outwards there, right. But it's not very high resolution. It's really poor. Yeah, so I found the screen fine. The weird thing is, the really weird thing is that when I got it, it worked absolutely flawlessly, and then I got this weird quirk message thing coming up about parking brake engaged, or no, not engaged, degraded. Okay. I was like, well, that was weird. It just sort of flashed up for a bit, and then it went, and I thought, oh, it's one of those quirks. And then it did it again a few days later. So then I thought I'll have a look up on Google, and only one other person had it, and he said it was something to do with his main 12 volt or his 12 volt battery going wrong, and that cool service thing. So I did, and then they got in contact and said, oh, yeah, we're checking out your car. When did it happen and stuff like that? Because that's like they can just log into the car. Yeah. And they came back and they said, oh, it's just a it's just a glitch, it's just a firmware thing. When you update the latest firmware, then you'll get that all sorted. Wow. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Except for I don't get they've sorted it out now, but I don't get any Wi-Fi at my home for some reason. It's just, even though the Wi-Fi box is right inside, it just doesn't. I think they're really short sort of distance. I don't know if it's a security thing or something. I don't know what it is. And I just couldn't get it to download this firmware because it had a firmware update and it failed. And then since then, it just went like, I'd have it like be driving along and the screen would go off, and I'd get all the warning messages coming up, all these different like tyre pressure, your brakes are on, like just all this matter, and I'm just like, I'm gonna have to ignore that because I'm pretty sure because the car drove fine.
Fine, yeah. The
biggest problem was when you're signalling, and then the screen would go black, or it wouldn't show the signal and it wouldn't make the noise, so you wouldn't know you were signalling other than you knew you did that.
Yeah.
So when I didn't have that indicator, I couldn't tell. I was like, what is it doing? Like, is it on or off? And then I was thinking, what if someone sees me indicating, thinking I'm going to go down the road and they're going to pull out in front of me?
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, it's suddenly, I haven't downloaded the firmware update or anything like that. It's just suddenly working, like for no reason at all. It just suddenly started working again, and I'm like, that doesn't make like any sense. But it's, other than the camera, which is still black for some reason, it works. So I'm still going to try and get the firmware update off them. I've put another. They're really good actually with the service stuff. As soon as you put it in, they usually email you within a day or so, or ring you.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, I'm not fussed about that.
So do you have a charging station at home?
Yeah, when I ordered the car, I wasn't expecting this until mid-July, and then I heard some people have been getting theirs on the 21st of June or something like that. I was like, well, I've missed that one because it was like a day later. I was like, well, I still haven't got it. I haven't got a call or anything.
So you say you haven't had the opportunity then to get a charging station?
Oh yeah, so that was your question, wasn't it? I was just totally yeah, so I had the charging thing booked in for tomorrow actually, and so I thought it was all, you know, mid-July, charging station there, and actually I was getting a bit of the driveway done as well, so that's still not done. And so yes, I've got this car, so I'm having to charge it from. Let's just go driving it. So I had to start charging it from the house, and to be honest, it's not too bad if you're not using it to commute, which I don't. You know, I work from home, so it's like, you know, I mainly drive it in the evenings, so I can charge. It gets about 9 miles per hour on the charge from the normal socket.
Right. Okay.
It's not ideal because there are times when you suddenly realise you've got to go somewhere that's a longer distance, and if you haven't got the charge, you haven't got the charge. Yeah. You have to then go. I've been to the supercharger twice. See if we can get a little boost. Like my son says, speed boost. Are you ready?
Yep. Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ! I was not expecting that.
I know, it's just, it's funny. And the best thing, that's the best thing. It feels like a roller coaster. But the other thing, when I picked up the car, the guy was saying, "Oh, I've left it off of creep, because you can have creep, so it naturally creeps forward like a nice car, especially if you've got someone trying to race you up the lights." Which actually I haven't had many, but there was a Mini Cooper S, and it was on a dual carriageway bit coming back from Reading, and there's quite a few nice dual carriageway bits along there. And he was like edging forward, because like you do, don't you, when you're trying to feather the clutch and everything on a normal car. Yeah. And because this just sits there, you can put your foot above the accelerator, like, so you're literally like millimeters away from the accelerator, and then just like floor it without any problem, like clutch control or anything like that. And I don't think the guy knew what happened. I didn't even know what happened. Like, it felt faster than normal because it really knocked me back. And I looked back after about a second, he was like 200 meters behind us. Just didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Most cars just don't have a chance in. I don't even think like Lamborghinis and things like that. I know they do them in drag races, but all the drag races you see, they're generally behind up to about 50 or 60 miles per hour. Yeah. And it's like, well, you know, in dual carriageway, you're usually at the other end of the dual carriageway by the time they've sort of caught up. Yeah. And that's just there. That's how insane it is.
That is incredible.
Let's try it, really.
It takes some getting used to, doesn't it?
Yeah. The thing is, I think it's safer because when you're driving an ICE car, you've got to be in the right rev range, right?
Yes, exactly.
And so you're trying to get up to a speed to then go faster, whereas with this you can go up to 40 and you've already got that kind of kick that you wanted out of it, and then you're like, oh well,
I mean, I was at a junction this morning dropping off my daughter. If you turn right, yeah, and there was a gap, so I was turning right similar to this, and there was a car coming, but there was enough of a gap for me to go, and I drive a cash car,
Yeah.
and it's automatic. There's only a 4-speed, it's quite an old one. And then when I put my foot down, it didn't realise that it wanted to power, so it had to drop down between the ranges.
Yeah.
So by the time I was actually in the middle of the road, she was flying up towards me, and it was really like close. I was like, geez, I don't want to be in that position again. So any comments around the car that you're not 100% happy with, or thought, that's
as in the quality?
Not well, just anything in the car. Like I know a lot of people sort of comment about, you know, you get fingerprint marks on that.
Yeah, I think I guess, but I mean, I mean, I claimed it with a baby one. That was the worst thing to do because it just loads of streaks. But no, I mean, my biggest gripe, I guess, if it's gripe, but then I work with computers every day, so I know what it's like. Would be, I mean, if I was just a normal car buyer and I didn't deal with computers or anything like that, and that played up like it's been playing up, I guess you'd be like, you know, what is going on? You know, I bought this like really expensive car, and it's not even working properly. But I knew that it was just glitches, and it would be sorted. So I guess that's it. The quality, I've never owned a car over the price of 30 grand, so maybe I'm not used to the Mercs and the BMWs that people keep comparing this to. But I just think, I think the thing is, they learned so many things from the Model S and X that they've now put into the Model 3. So it's actually a higher quality car in some ways in the interior than the other cars. So that and all the panel gaps, I didn't see any when I looked around it. I can't see any panel gaps. In terms of, I don't know. I don't think there is anything. Like, handling's brilliant. Obviously, the acceleration's brilliant. The ride feels comfortable. I guess if there's anything, I suppose the amount of range you get, because I was under the kind of impression you would get about 300 miles, but you have to really be driving like stupidly slow and.
Okay. So what would realistically?
Realistically, I think it's about 240 to 250. Okay. So that's the one thing. Is it straight ahead here?
Straight ahead, yeah.
Yeah, that would be the one thing that I would say is. But it's not a problem. It's just one of those things.
You just got to be mindful of it,
yeah.
So, but these seats are just so comfortable.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Really, really comfortable.
I don't have any issues with the interior, and because it's so spacious. Well, actually, I'll tell you the one thing I'm not. It's not really disappointed, because it sounds too harsh to say disappointed, but I was really kind of looking forward to the roof being this panoramic kind of wow. Right. But because it's kind of too far back to see it, you kind of don't appreciate it that much, and it's quite dark. So that was a kind of, I don't know, I had this sort of feeling that you just literally have this open space above you, which you don't really feel. Yeah. Maybe you get it in the back, but I've never actually sat in the back yet. Maybe you get that more in the back, I'm not sure.
And driving at night, because you won't have...
yeah, so that's another thing actually that people say, is they really freaked out by the fact that there's no cluster of lights in front of the steering wheel, which I don't know why. I just haven't found that as I didn't even notice that it wasn't there, even though I've been told by people to sort of look out for that as well. I just didn't even notice it. Maybe that's why. Maybe because they'd said that, I just didn't notice it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. They never move.
Yeah, so I don't have really any issues with the car at all. Because I think that's the only thing with the car would be the technology. It's like buying a very expensive computer, isn't it? So you've got, I guess 6-7 years before it starts being really dated. I don't know what they're going to do with the chips and things. I assume they could just swap them out as well, similar to the battery.
Yeah, but isn't there a lot of technology that they can turn on and turn off and tweak through the updates? Yeah,
so there is a lot of stuff there that will keep it up to date and fresh for a certain amount of time. Like, for example, they've already updated the chips for the auto driving. So I think it's in version 2.5 at the moment. This one's got version 3. So people that bought the Model 3 in Europe haven't got that, so they've got to take them in and they put the new hardware in for free, which is good. So I guess that's what they're going to keep doing. I guess there will be a point where your car's, I don't know, 8 years old. It's not under the warranty for the new tech anymore. A bit like they do with phones, but obviously, hopefully not as dramatically as that. So hopefully you do get a good 8-10 years out of the car before. I mean, I guess it would never be. It is an interesting one because with computers, there is a point where they stop supporting like games and things like that.
Yeah.
Or the Xbox was a bit like that.
Yes,
they now
exactly.
don't support any of that sort of stuff because it's so old. And so I don't know what they're doing. Like 15 years time, people driving around in this car, are they going to still support? They're going to have to support it to some degree because otherwise it's not going to be drivable.
So that would lead me on to sort of my next question. Sort of, why did you buy the car? So is it because of just buying an electric car and it's cheaper to run and being environmental, or like myself, sort of buying into the idea?
Yeah, it's more buying into the idea. I think
it's a concept, and we know that, as we just talked about, what will happen in 5 years' time or 8 years' time.
Yeah,
would you have to take down to the scrapyard and buy a new one?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. I think because you're buying into the idea of it, you kind of expect to go along with the wave of technology.
Yeah.
And if there's something that's so much better, well, I can't imagine, but maybe they do have the latest one that's amazing and flies or something like that, then yeah, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to upgrade to that.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely be always investing in the latest ones that come along. Probably Tesla, but obviously if another brand comes on that's better, then obviously I'm not sort of like a total sort of fanboy. I'm not going to be like, no, I'm going to stick with Tesla. I'll be quite happy to swap. I'll be quite happy to swap around with it, any tech. But I don't think anyone, like at the end of the day, no one's doing this sort of stuff, are they, with the toy box and the fart thing and stuff like that.
No, I know.
So I like all that. That's my sort of sense of humour as well.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the idea of just being able to sort of like see what the latest updates that they've done and play around with them.
But I just think also in 5 years' time, how many competitors will be able to give a Model 3 at the standard now?
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, they're not still not even up with the standard of the 2012 S, are they?
No.
And that's now like what, 7 years?
But it's I read an article, isn't it, like Ford and VW, Ford and Vauxhall or something like that, getting together now to try and make electric cars.
Right. Yeah, they might be.
So
yeah.
there's that companies are now having to merge because they're realising that Tesla's now starting to overtake them.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've kind of been sitting on their asses, not realising that it's going to move forward so quickly. I think they just thought, because obviously they've got so much investment in the old tech and the factories and everything they're having to produce, and they know they make more money from the sales and the servicing of them, that they're just doing these token electric cars because they're just thinking, oh, no one's really going to want them. Yeah. And as long as we show that we've got, we're sort of committed, then we can. And
I think a lot of people expect a Tesla to fail.
Yeah, well, yeah, and they keep shortening the stocks and everything, and they've just kept going. It's like they just can't knock them down, because I think there's so much desire for people to want them. Like there's so many people that actually want. They can't make them fast enough.
No.
So it is just this case of like the fake. It is like Tom's fake news stuff, and there's so much of that that's flooded the market that like CNBC are just terrible for it. And you just see all these people going like that. Oh, they're not selling enough cars. There's no demand for the Model 3 anymore. And it just think, have you not been on the forums and seen real people on YouTube, like sitting in the car, going, "Oh my God, this is amazing"?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you really thinking that people aren't going to see that?
No.
I mean, like I say, I don't. Even if I don't think I'd get a Lamborghini or anything like that. Even if I had loads of money, I think I'd still have a Tesla.
Yeah.
I know that does sound like a fanboy, but it's not. It's just I find the fact that it's quite subtle. It's not in your face. I mean, when I was younger, I'd have super impressed with it and loved it, sort of spoiling and that sort of stuff. Whereas now I'm like 44, so I don't want to be showing off and driving around like an idiot.
Yeah.
It's quite nice to have like that subtlety, but also that fact that you can show those sort of cars up. So yeah, maybe I'd get a Model X if with like the sort of like convenience of the size of it, but I don't know, because I just think the size of the car here, it's like for prime example, this sort of road.
Yeah.
Driving a big old Tesla X down this road would be a nightmare.
Oh, it would be an absolute nightmare. Yeah. I mean, if I did get a Tesla X, which I do love, I do really want one.
Yeah, they are really nice.
I think they'd be really nice, but it's just not practical.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Really isn't. I mean, the Falcon doors would be nice on here because obviously you've got the edge and all this stuff. That would be easy, but it's just too big.
And things like that, I go down to Cornwall quite a lot, and some of the boats down there, you'd struggle with like a Mini sort of thing. So having the smallest of the Teslas is probably the best thing. Maybe a Model Y is probably like the best compromise. And it sounds really sort of like I'm on my high horse with now having an electric car, but when I hear like diesel cars now and things like that, and it's just like, it seems like such a sort of old-fashioned technology. When you think it's almost like it is like a sort of Victorian steam, like you've got steam engines, and then it was literally one up from that in that it was a fuel rather than water. But other than that, it's pretty much the same sort of technology, isn't it? Yeah. And you see all this smoke spluttering out, and you just think, wow, you know, this is just such a different league. It's just so silent. It is like a spaceship, and you just know. I mean, obviously there is the argument of but they've still got to be manufactured and made, and there's all this stuff being burnt and things like that for that, which is a fair point. But again, going back to forgetting climate change and going to just pollution, and the cities, it's that you don't get big factories in the city. They're out in the middle of nowhere, and they don't affect people as much. So I think from that point of view, it's still a lot better. And I think a lot of these factories, like the gig factory stuff, use all solar panels and things like that now, don't they? So there's all that kind of side of it.
Yeah. No, I love that.
So what's your favourite part of the car?
I mean, the acceleration.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that, because everybody talks about that. You watch the videos and people go, oh, wow, you know, but you just don't realise how it kicks you back into your seat. I mean, I've never been in a sports car or a supercar like that. I mean, but that was just incredible.
No, me neither.
But you just sit there and just go, wow, it's just so minimalistic. It's just everything that I like, everything that I want to be, and I was like, I just got to have this car now. Just got to have this car. But I mean, this is just, you know, nobody does anything like this.
No, I don't think anyone will for a while. I think until they realise how good it is, they're not. They're going to strike away from it.
I went for a test drive because we were thinking about getting a replacing the Qashqai and getting a Q5.
Oh yeah, they're nice.
And so I went in, and they got this tiny little screen over here, and he's like, "Oh, this is cutting edge, top of the range." And you just look at the competitors and like, "Oh mate, what are you trying to kid?" Yeah. I mean,
did you say? Have you been in a Model?
No, I didn't say anything. It was like letting him do a sales pitch and stuff, and I thought, not a chance.
Yeah, it was funny. It's like I was in my parents' car the other day, and it's a little screen on it. And it was like, it looked like going from like Spectrum. Do you remember Spectrum Commodore?
Yeah.
64. It's kind of going from that to like this like iPad kind of thing. It's just like such a jump up. So yeah, it's really surprising no one. I mean, it's not like it hasn't been out for a while. It's like the Model S has got pretty much the same thing, other than it's built more into the dashboard.
Yeah.
But surely from 2012, most car companies should have been going, "Oh yeah, that's cool."
Yeah, that's what people want.
Yeah, but they just haven't.
No. But then you go into some cars and they go, "We've just added more buttons."
Yeah.
And you think, sure. You've got consoles down here and you've got button.
Yeah, and I find that's really confusing. It's like there's just too many. I'm not. What? Hang on, there's one there. And they're doing all these sort of curved styles and things like. You're like, all right, does that do that? Does that do the same thing? What's that do? Yeah. And like that's the thing people are saying about the screen. It's like, well, you know, it's all you have to keep using the screen for everything. But the reality of driving is there's not really anything that you would need on the screen that you'd have to keep fiddling with, other than the radio, which you would have to do in any car anyway.
Yes.
And you can even talk to this car and say, "Can you play whatever song?" So that's not even an issue, because you just hold down that button there and it will tell you, you know, where we'll tell you. There you go. We'll tell you anything. So there's that, which is sorting out most of what you need on there. And other than like the odd little, I guess the glove box maybe, but then the glove box is kind of one of those things you shouldn't really be going like that when you're driving as well. So,
well, yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I don't know, unless it goes wrong, like I've said, when it went black, that's when it's like, that's really annoying. But even then, it wasn't like I was like, I can't drive the car now. I'm still quite happy driving around in the car. It just wasn't ideal when it kept blacking out. But that, it's just a glitch.
But you're going to have a glitch with everything, I think.
Yeah.
Especially with the technology being relatively new.
Yeah, no, exactly.
With a new car, but yeah. Cool, mate. Let me give you that back. And I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And these seats, I just can't get over that. They feel lovely.
They've got like little lumbar support down there as well.
Yeah, just feels so great. It's nice. Oh, it's that
Someone
one.
said it's like marshmallows. Yes, no, it's that one. You're not the first person to do that. You're about the 20th person to do that. Right, well, cheers, Ben.
Thank you so much, mate. I'm going to have a look at your rims now.
Yeah,
cheers.
Right,
Thanks so much, eh?
See you later.
Keep in touch.
So that was my little chat with a stranger in my Model 3 who is now not a stranger. His name is Ben and he's not a serial killer. So I hope you enjoyed that. Now you may also notice that behind me at the moment, those eagle eyes of yours, you might have noticed that that is not a Model 3 behind me, that is a Model S. That's another story I'm going to cover next week, still ongoing, of why my Model 3 is not on my drive and I'm driving a Model S at the moment, so stay tuned to that. And remember to subscribe so you get alerted when that video is out, and also hit the notification button. And if you want to use my referral code, it's in the description below, and that will give us both a chance to win a Founders Edition Model Y or a Roadster, and also you get free 1,000 miles of supercharging. So until next time, bye for now.